Hello everyone, welcome to SwitchUp as we once again have a look at some of the games coming out on the Nintendo Switch in this upcoming week. A big thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Now we've had a couple of decent weeks on the Switch in terms of games releasing. For example, in last week's video we had Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, Sniper Elite 4 and Mars Horizon to name a few, as well as Sakuna of Rice and Ruin the week before that. Is this week going to be as good? Well, let's find out. First off, we're going to have a look at a couple of games that came out last week but were never on the eShop page or were on there too late to be included in last week's video. First up then we have Bridge Constructor The Walking Dead. Now this is of course a Bridge Constructor game with a Walking Dead theme, and in this iteration you are building traps to try and kill the walkers, again with it all being physics based. Now I haven't watched The Walking Dead for a few years now, I kind of got bored of it, but even from the thumbnail I can see at least Michonne and Daryl are in it. So fans of the show may have a good time with this. I know Alex over at Switch Corner has reviewed this one, so I'll put a link to his review in our top pin comment if you want to check it out. And also already out we have Star Renegades, which is published by Raw Fury, a team that have brought some great games to the Switch, and developed by Massive Damage, the team behind Halcyon 6, a very good game, one we've reviewed here on the channel. Again, there'll be a link in the top pin comment. This is an RPG strategy game set in a procedurally generated world and includes what it calls a fast-paced reactive time battle system, allowing you to interrupt, counter and combo against your opponent. The standout feature for me though is just that wonderful pixel art. This is probably some of the best pixel art I've seen in a game for a long time. It looks absolutely beautiful. First of the upcoming games for this week then, although this has been out in some regions for a couple of weeks, this is Cobra Kai The Karate Kid Saga Continues. This is of course based on the Cobra Kai TV show, which is on Netflix I think, and that itself is based on the Karate Kid movies from back in the 80s. This game adaptation is a beat 'em up, selling for £34 over here in the UK, and does also have a physical release. From what I've heard about this one so far, it seems to be fairly enjoyable, certainly if you like the show, whilst perhaps being a little clunky and uninspiring to look at, shall we say, at the same time. The Switch is quite sport for choice when it does come to beat 'em ups. There are plenty of fantastic ones out there. The price is a bit too steep for my liking, especially when you consider some of the games that you can play in this genre on the Switch. Streets of Rage 4 is cheaper for example, but I get the feeling that the physical copy will drop in price fairly quickly, and if you are a fan of the show it might be worth considering. A big thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Skillshare is essentially an online learning community which offers thousands of inspiring classes for those looking to branch out and enhance their skills. The topics cover a wide variety of areas including film and video, graphic design and animation, as well as some more business oriented ones such as leadership and management and marketing. I've been really loving the illustration classes over these last couple of months and recently participated in Brooke Glazer's Colour Theory for Illustrators, a beginner's guide. As she says, even the most simple of drawings can look incredible with the right colours, and this class covered areas such as how to make your colours pop, how to choose evocative colours to emphasise mood, and also looked at the 5 most common colour stumbling blocks that people find themselves faced with. It was quite a fascinating and insightful class, I really enjoyed it. You can get all of this for less than $10 a month via an annual subscription, but also for a limited time, use the link in the description to get a free trial of Skillshare Premium membership. It's definitely worth having a look at. Okay, with all that said, let's get back to the video. Next we have a game called Tracks Toybox Edition, which I think has been released elsewhere as Tracks the Train Set game. This sells for £24.99 but does have 10% off of that price until the 30th of November, and is basically a digital toy train set. You can lay the track, add houses, and then go into a first person view from the train itself to see what you've created. Now I saw this on a website as there is a physical version coming as well, and had contemplated getting it for my kids for Christmas. It's actually cheaper physically, it's about 20 quid, and having just watched the trailer, it looks pretty decent for what it is for the audience it's going for. I could see younger children enjoying this, I can see some adults enjoying it as well to be fair. It's the idea of creativity and then being able to appreciate what you've built.
All ages. Tracks Toybox Edition for Nintendo Switch. Launches 24th of November.
Next out on the 25th is a game called My Aunt is a Witch. So we've already had a game called My Girlfriend is a Mermaid, now we've got My Aunt is a Witch. This looks to be a cheaply priced visual novel. It's going for £8.99 and has 20% off of that price until the 25th of November, and has really quite a catchy art style, to be fair, and as well as being a visual novel, has some point and click elements to it too. Now I did watch a review on this one just to get my head around what it was. The review was by a channel called Retro Raider and was very enjoyable. I will put a link to it in a top pinned comment if you want to give that a watch. You play as a young boy named Thomas who, after his dad remarries and his new stepmom doesn't like him very much by the sounds of it, he moves in with his aunt only to find out that she is, as you would expect, a witch. It looks quite charming for what it is and is definitely cheap enough, especially if you grab it whilst it still has that discount. Next is a game called Out of Space Couch Edition, which is a local co-op experience where you need to try and develop your house, decorating it with certain items, keeping it tidy, and even growing plants in the garden to keep yourselves fed. It looks to be quite similar to games such as Overcooked or Moving Out, but does seem to have that slight difference at the same time in that you are keeping yourselves happy, almost Sims-like in that respect, rather than having to fulfill orders or get something done in a certain amount of time. It's also selling for very cheap, just £8.99, and looks like it could be a lot of fun. I've just seen it's actually 4-player co-op, not the 2 that I had originally thought, so it could be a good party game once people are allowed to meet up again. And then we have Strike Force 2 Terrorist Hunt, which is a first-person tactical shooter, joining its predecessor on the Switch, and publishers Polygon Art have also brought other first-person shooters to the Switch, such as Beyond Enemy Lines Covert Operations and Beyond Enemy Lines Essentials. This sells for £16.19 or your regional equivalent, and is a one-player experience where you play as a member of the Strike Force unit, needing to combat a terrorist organisation in order to rescue one of your agents. I know games similar to this were quite popular when the Switch first came out because there weren't a huge amount of options in terms of first-person shooters. There are a lot more these days than there were then, with some obvious ones missing, such as obviously Call of Duty, and this is another option if you are looking for something along those lines. Next, releasing on the 26th, we have my most anticipated game of the week. This is Maid of Sker. This is a first-person survival horror game set in a remote hotel and based on British folklore, a Welsh folk song, the Maid of Sker, to be precise. I won't try and say it in Welsh as I'll absolutely butcher it. This game will see you utilising stealth tactics to try and avoid the dangers around you as you are tracked down by a cult of sound-based enemies. You have a defensive sound device that you can use to try and keep yourself safe, and I'm sure it will also include running and hiding for good measure. As an Englishman myself, I love it when horror games are based on British folklore or set in England or Britain. It just brings it all home and makes it that bit scarier. Games such as Zombie U or Welcome to Hanwell have done it very well, and I'm very interested to see what this one is like. It sells for £19.99 and also has a physical version, and that's how I'll be picking it up. Then we have the Alto Collection, which is a compilation of 2 games, Alto's Adventure and Alto's Odyssey, between them equating to about 120 levels. One is set in the Alps and another across windswept dunes, and from what I've heard about these games, they are very relaxing. Now, I've never known an endless runner to be described as relaxing, so this one actually intrigues me because I do love endless runners, but they are quite frustrating at times. It sells for £7.89, which seems reasonable, and there might be nice games to wind down to at the end of the day. And finally for the week we have Sky Mercenaries Redux. This is an upgraded version of Sky Mercenaries, a game that's been on Steam for a few years and is a shoot 'em up with RPG elements. As you play, you'll be earning permanent upgrades, armour and different types of weapons, and you'll also be levelling up your pilots and assigning them skill points into 3 different skill trees. As well as this, it does say it includes a stage editor. I don't know if anyone out there has played this and can tell us if it's any good, but it sells for £11.90 and comes out on the 26th. So there you have it, there are some of the games that are coming out this week. Not a great week, let's be honest, after 2 very good weeks so far, and having had a sneaky peek of what's coming next week, it seems that that week will be better still. But Maid of Sker has caught my attention, and there are a couple of others that look okay. Please do let us know if any of these have caught your attention. Are you going to pick any of them up? Another quick thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Please do check out the link in the description or the top pinned comment to get a free trial of their premium service. It also helps us out on the channel here too, which is most appreciated. And there are links, as I said, to a few relevant videos, either ours or other people's, that may help you with some of the games in this list. Thank you to our Patreons as always for your continued support, and to each and every one of you for watching our videos. Take care, stay safe, and until next time, happy gaming.